Yep, no problem.
Good morning. I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS Small Business. Welcome to this information webinar on products and services available within ESS Small Business. Today we have a very special guest, John Soulis from Global Business Camps, who's going to talk to you about a wonderful initiative that his organisation has created to assist small business operators to have a better insight into business operations. So I thought we'd start this discussion with some questions. Are you as a small business operator receiving the type of services that you want? Over the last 10 years, there's been various surveys conducted by organisations like MYOB, CCH, who are a major supplier of data and information to accountants all around the world, and Smith Inc., who are arguably Australia's top management consulting company for the accounting profession. And these surveys have identified virtually the same thing. It's quite remarkable that each of these surveys identified services that the SMEs who were interviewed indicated they would like to receive. And let's look at what some of those services were. Future planning, that's probably cash flow forecasts, budgets, and things of that nature. Where's our business going? But business analysis and interpretation, key performance indicators, benchmarking, ratio analysis, succession exit planning. Does any of this sound familiar? Are these the sort of things that you would like to receive in your business? Management of costs, management monitoring. You know, what's going on with your management team? Do people understand their responsibilities? Business plans, assistance in raising capital. There's been a fair bit of publicity about that in the last week or so as the federal government announces its new innovation package. Some of you may be interested in trying to attract investors based on the government's new pronouncements. And finding government grants. There's over $5 billion per annum in grants, incentives, and special loans for small businesses. Are you receiving your share of those? Are you even aware of them? Are your accountants keeping you informed? So do you have some other services that you would like to receive assistance on? Now, I can assure you that there are a number of accountants around Australia who can assist small, medium enterprises to supply these types of services. Our keynote speaker today, John Soulis, is one of those. And ESS BizTools, our senior parent company, has hundreds of accountancy businesses around Australia who are supplying those sorts of services. So today we're going to look at global business camps, and John's going to give you an insight, I'm sure, as to how a global business camp can help you understand these type of issues, can understand how you can get assistance in answering some of the problems that the surveys have identified. The camp next year is on the 14th and 16th of March at the Gold Coast. And this will assist you to understand key strategies for a wide range of business issues. You don't have to try to solve these problems on your own. Organisations like Global Business Camps and ESS BizTools can assist you to have a greater understanding of the challenges confronting small business operators. Please don't feel, though, that you've got to be on your own. And if you wish, you can encourage your accountant to come to the Global Business Camp. It's not SMEs only. In fact, John has told me that quite a number of accountants, including his own firm, are bringing a large number of clients to the camp. So if you want to ring your accountant and encourage them to come, please do so, and they'll be able to contact us to get arrangements on the special deals that are available. So I hope that's enough introduction as to what this very important conversation today is going to be about. So it's with pleasure that I now introduce you to John Sewis, the Managing Director of Global Business Camps. And I'll just do the changeover of presenter now.
Wonderful. Hey everyone, I hope you're having an awesome day. Thanks very much, Peter, for inviting me along, and I truly believe that the Global Business Camp is an amazing way to actually take your business from where it is today to where it can potentially be. The interesting thing out there is that we've got dramatic change. There's so much change going on, and we're seeing some businesses out there not actually adapting and not moving with the changing times. Potentially they can become extinct. I don't want any of the businesses on this webinar being in that situation. So we need to look at what's going on. We need to understand that change is difficult, but hey, if we don't change, we're going to have a problem. Peter shared a lot of information that MYB, CCH, and the people at Smith Inc. have come up with, and this is some other stuff that we've pulled together as well. And Peter talked about succession planning. He talked about KPIs or key performance indicators. He talked about monitoring. All of that information is covered in our global business camps over the 3 days. We thought it was so important to do that because most businesses don't actually focus on any of that. The other issues we found out with our research is that 84% of family businesses and small to medium enterprises or small to medium businesses are aiming to grow in the next 5 years. The question is, how are they going to do that? To me, to do it properly, you need a roadmap, you need an outline, you need a process. We provide that process. Some other information. Top 3 issues over the next 12 months that people like yourself, you guys told us was important. Staff recruitment, business development, cash flow and cash control. Peter actually mentioned that as well. That was his second point. Most people in business are not preparing budgets, and then they've got nothing to compare back to their actual figures. So they don't really know how they're going. They don't really know if they're overspending in a particular area. They don't really know, if what sort of return they're getting with the money they're spending. 38% are planning to sell or float their business. So succession planning. 47% don't have a succession plan. The issue with that is people are trying to move their business over to, say, their management or their family, or pull themselves out a little bit, but they don't have a plan. They don't know how they're going to do it properly. And typically, if there is no plan, a successful succession won't happen. The other thing that we found with our research is that when people call and say, how much is your widget, most people just say it's so much. That is a strategy that doesn't really work these days. People are looking for solutions. So if what you're saying when people are ringing up, calling you and saying, how much is your so-and-so, if you're giving them a price, all they have to make the decision is price. So they'll say, thank you, they'll call someone else, and typically they'll probably get the one in the middle or the cheapest one. 94% of people are giving a price. A better strategy would be that you say, when they ask, how much is your so-and-so, you could say, so that I could help you best, would it be okay with you if I asked you a couple of questions? I bet you the other businesses they're calling are not saying that. So what we're finding is that people in business need some help, whether it's from their accountant in the day-to-day stuff or whether it's in terms of driving their business further, they need some help. A great way to do that is our 3-day global business camp. When is it? Peter's already mentioned, 14th to the 16th of March 2016. It's at the QT on the Gold Coast. It's a lovely location where we can get together and learn. We'll get people coming from all over the country, and it is a fantastic program. The 3 days, it's all about change. It's all about thinking about the opportunities out there. It's all about working on how you can take the business from where it is today to where you want it to go. What are the 6 secrets? This is what we cover over the 3 days. We focus on this. So we begin with the end in mind. And like I already said, most people in business don't sit and think about this stuff. So what do we cover off and begin with the end in mind? Well, we look at change because, as we know, we are going through dramatic change. The internet and other avenues are just causing so much change to occur. So if we don't change with the times, we're going to have an issue. So we focus on change. We get people understanding what they need to do, how they can implement change in their business successfully, because change can be scary, as we know. We get people understanding about working on their business, not in their business. Most people from our experience go to work in their business. They don't actually go to work to do the things that they need to do to make the business work. So the key is going to work, working on your business, making your business successful, because if your business is successful, you will give your customers, clients, and patients the outcomes that they want. You'll be around to help them. We work through effective leadership, and really, as they say, the fish rots from the head. If we don't have effective leadership in our business, that's then going to filter down into our business and potentially could cause major issues. We look at values, mission, and vision. Most people, like I say, go to work and just do the things, you know, the day-to-day things, like they put out fires, they bank the money, or they handle a client, customer, or patient complaint. They don't look at where do we want this business to be? What's important to us? What timeline have we got? These are important things, because if you can get those in order, you will engage your team. You'll get a team that wants you to succeed, because they'll succeed as well. Secret number 2 is planning for success. In that, we look at strategic planning and financial budgeting. You're going to say, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking strategic planning, that's for big business. When we talk about strategic planning, what we mean is the bite-sized chunks you need to put in place to get from where you are today to where you want to go. So that would involve a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis. So what are we strong at? How can we build on that strength? What are our weaknesses? How do we mitigate the issues that we can get from that? What opportunities are out there? What threats are out there? Is there something that's threatening our business that we actually haven't focused on? And if we can focus on it, we can turn it around. So it just gets people to think differently about their business. We also look at financial budgeting. Financial budgeting is critical in any business. It's important where you can map out the next 12 months and say, okay, this could potentially be my revenue. This is my cost of goods sold. These can potentially be my expenses, my outgoings. Where do I sit at the end of the year? What does my profit look like? If I tweak the revenue slightly, what does it look like? If our revenue drops slightly, what does it look like? We then talk about the importance of cash flow budgeting. So it's all good and well to have a profit and loss budget. A profit and loss budget will tell you whether your business is profitable or not, or potentially profitable or not. The cash flow budget will tell you whether you're potentially going to run out of money or whether you're going to have more than enough money. Interesting thing is, bankers, from our experience and discussions, are more receptive to a business that's thought about where they're going. So if you prepare a profit and loss cash flow budget and it looks like due to your growth, you may run out of money, if you go to your banker with plenty of notice and explain that to them, they'll be more receptive to lend you money. They don't like it when people knock on their door at the 11th hour and say, hey, I've got a problem. I've been growing dramatically. My business is successful. However, I'm running out of money. They don't like that. Growing your business. Secret number 3, it's all about the 5 key business building strategies. And trust me, there are only 5. What are they? 1 is get more customers and keep existing customers of the type you want. 2 is get them to come back more often. 3 is increase the average value of each transaction when they're with you. 4 is have proper systems and processes. Committed team. 4 and 5 are very important, because without 4 and 5, without proper systems and a committed team, 1, 2, and 3 will not work out consistently. So the key is you can get a really important multiplier effect, and we work through this proprietary software that we've developed to show you what small changes can make in any business. Very important. Secret number 4, managing your business. We then look at financial statements and the importance of them. I know most people don't like to look at their financial statements. We love doing that in terms of pictures. We understand that people like seeing color and seeing pictures and seeing whether their trends are going up. What do their ratios look like? Peter's already mentioned about ratios. We then look at critical success factors and key performance indicators, and we compare everything back to our financial budgets. So really important stuff, guys. Valuing your business is secret 5. The important thing we need to get into our head is if we decrease the risk, we in turn increase the multiple, and we in turn increase the value of our business. We had a prime example, an information technology IT business come along to one of our events a few years ago. They were turning over about $6 million. They thought everything was going well. What they discovered when we worked through this section is that they had a value gap. And when they put down the number of what they thought their business was worth, and then they worked back through the questions that we had, and which really prompt you to think differently about your business. When we worked through the questions, they worked out their business was worth a minimal amount. The reason is that everything was in the CEO's head. So if the CEO was crossing the street and got run over by a bus, they had no business. So they then put steps and processes in place to improve their business, and their business went from strength to strength. Secret number 6, freedom. It is all about successful succession. And when we talk about succession, I don't mean selling your business, because we work with a lot of people that come to our events and they just want to maybe pull back a little bit, work a day or two less, but have their business there as cash flow and be able to add value to the customers they deal with. We also work on delegating to the team. We also work on, getting key management upskilled and moving through. So therefore, less depends on you. The more we can do that, the more the business will be worth. So we work through the 6 secrets to any business, which is really important. A lot of people out there don't think of their business in this way, and that's why our program is very, very different. We actually get you working through this process. What's the camp about? It's about structure, it's about a framework. The important thing is that it's not ad hoc, it's not sporadic things that we do. We follow a process. Anyone in any business, in any sport, in any occupation, in any family relationship must have a structured process. These people that go out and win the Olympics and are successful, soccer teams or football teams, don't actually just turn up. They have a structured process, a structured framework. They work through things, they tick the boxes, and they end at a particular goal, and they're at their peak. That's what we need to be doing in business. A lot of people out there are not doing that. Why is it called a business camp? The key to it is that we get you away for 3 days. So we get you away from your normal environment, we get you working on your business with other people from the same business and your advisors if they want to come along, but you're there with other proactive, forward-thinking thinkers in different industries. It's amazing the ideas you'll pick up, and I'll share with you some examples later on. We believe it's a key step in the development of your business because most people in business do certain things a certain way. And what we're saying is, with all the change out there, there's so much disruption going on with technology changes, with the cloud technology, with overseas ability for people to order online now and get things. There's so much opportunity, but we need to change the way we do things. So we've got to think about planning and think about freedom. So the 3 days are all about addressing the key issues for family businesses and other SMEs in Australasia. As I said, it's the only event of its type. The reason I say that is because we get you in a forum for 3 days. We've got the secret that works. We actually work with you and repeat certain things in certain points. What we find is that repetition increases the chance of success. And it's the only event that welcomes your advisor to come and work with you. We love to get your advisors there as well. Typically what happens, the format is 6 business people per table, and that could be 1 business, could be 2 businesses, could be 3 or 4 businesses. The key is that you're workshopping ideas with like-minded business people. So some exercises, and actually I'll take a step back. This is not an event you come to and you listen to 3 days. We find that is the worst form of learning. This is an event you come to, we set the foundation, the framework, and then we get you working on your business. We get you working through worksheets and questionnaires and analysing where you are and where you want to go. Some of the exercises you'll do by yourself. Some of the exercises you'll actually work with other like-minded people from other businesses. And some of the exercises you'll work with people from your own business. As you can tell, I'm pretty passionate about this. We've been running these events since 2002, and we've had thousands of people come through them, and we've had fantastic results. We've got a number of video testimonials on our website, and one of them is Ian Healy. Ian Healy, the ex-Australian wicketkeeper, runs a number of car wash businesses, and he's come to our event and said, wow, we don't think these things that these people are talking about. We've got to get more structured. But getting back, I do digress, I apologise. The majority of the program is presented by me. I present the 6 secrets and work you through the process and work you in your workshops. We also have guest speakers coming along. David Smith is an IT, cloud technology, systems guru. He'll be talking about the changes in what's happening in the world. He'll be talking about the social media. He'll be talking about cloud technology. He'll be talking about the opportunities and the threats to our businesses out there. That is a session not to be missed. Mark Holton, he will also be there, and he'll be talking about what the 1% changes can do to our bottom line. Also, what a key thing is we go out as business people and invest, let's say, $50,000 or $100,000 on a piece of machinery or a piece of equipment. The key is, what return is that piece of equipment, piece of machinery going to give us? Most of us don't really know. He'll actually work through a session that will highlight how you can determine that. And he does that with some proprietary software called Cash Flow Story. Andrew Geddes from Geddes Consulting will be working through effective leadership. He's got proprietary questionnaire from the States called the DISC methodology, and we actually work through, get you answering questions, and then we split you up to determine what type of leader you are. What type of leader you are determines who you work well with. So, for example, if you're an outgoing leader that's always looking at opportunities but hasn't got attention to detail, maybe we need to find an attention to detail person for your business. Maybe you've already got them in there. So these are the things we work through. David Bates from Workforce Guardian will also be there, and David will be working through the risks in terms of human resources, in terms of people. He'll be talking about how we can minimize this risk, how we can get more people more engaged in our business. And Stephen Bradbury, the Olympian, the gold medalist, he'll be there to share his secrets of success. And as he says, last man standing, very important. We've got to be the last people standing. Sometimes things will happen in life that will get knocked down, but we've got to get up and keep going. As you can see, it's a fully packed program. What you'll get from the GBC or the Global Business Camp, you'll get to work on your business, not in your business. You get to understand the difference, and there is a massive difference. Business owners that work on their business are miles ahead of business owners that just go to work in their business. And I've got plenty of examples to share with you anytime you like. Like I said, there's plenty of information on our website. You'll discover the 6 secrets. You'll discover the 5 key business building strategies. You'll begin creating specific systems. The important thing is, a business that's fully systemized is worth up to 86.7% more than an unsystemized business. You're going to say, that's crazy, but it's true. I understand systems can be difficult. I understand they're time consuming. I understand, they always have to be updated, but fully systemized businesses are worth more. Look at McDonald's, for example. Their product may or may not be the best in the world, but their process works. You'll also get the knowledge to better understand your business performance. 88%, it's a massive number. 88% of business failure comes from things that we ourselves can control. So basically 9 out of 10 businesses fail because of things we can control. Typically what we find in there is debtor management, creditor management, stock control, cash flow. These are critical things. We focus on this and we get you understanding the importance of them. And by the end of it, you'll realize that you have a business, an asset, and it's not just a job. And we work over the 3 days on increasing their business value. Typically, most people, their business is their biggest asset. My business is my biggest asset. I love my business. I think it's the best business in the world. And it gives me the opportunity to work with awesome people like yourselves and help improve their business. So we've got to understand that our business has a value. Some examples. Fast food outlet has, over a 4-year period, has gone from turning over $18,000 a year to now turning over $40,000 a year, and you can see the profit results, $150,000 per annum to $527,000 per annum. They've attended 3 events. Some of the things they've done: they've rebranded their business. Their brand is ubiquitous. They've got the same uniforms, to the same colors on the screens, to the same packaging. They've got a guarantee. If you don't like your food or it's not fresh, you don't pay. They have special offers. They have awesome packaging, and they focus on customer service. They've implemented that phone system where if someone calls and says, "How much is your chickens?" they don't say $15. They say, "So that I could help you best, would it be okay with you if I can ask you some questions?" It's interesting when you hear the results of changing a slight process, and I've been fortunate enough that I get a lot of feedback from these people, and they implemented that, and the owner picked up the phone and said, "You won't believe what just happened." And I'm saying, well, I do believe, because I understand it. Electrician. Smaller businesses, that's a smaller business, revenue increased from $450,000 a year to $1.1 million over 3.5 years, just from one event. What did they do? They put some systems in place. They trained their team. They worked on a clean working environment, and they had a checklist when they went out there. And what they basically said to people is there anything else we can do while we're here? So customer service was important. Dental technician, sole trader, turning over $120,000 a year, now turning over $400,000 a year, working less because he loves his golf. they've gone from just having a job to having a business that works. We're now, their accountant is now working with them to actually help them put some people on. They've attended a couple of events. They've also implemented a guarantee. They basically said to the dentist, because their customers are the dentists, that, hey, if we give it to you and it doesn't match the color or it doesn't fit right, we'll fix it for nothing. So it's all about taking away the risk. Health provider, this is a business that went from 2.8 million to 6.3 million. As you can see, their profits went up dramatically. They've been to 6 events and they bring 5 or more team to each event. Our accounting practice that Peter mentioned has already got 18 business people booked in. One business is bringing 6 people, not that business, not the health provider this time. But what you find is that by changing the way they look at their business, by involving the key management, by having strategic retreats, by delegation of the owners, their business has improved. Restaurant in a very small regional town went from $4,000 a year to $22,000. $4,000 a week to $22,000 a week. The key things there were the things that they implemented and got out of it. The owners are now working less. Their business now has value. In the process, they bought the premises they were in. They've introduced birthday cards, so when people come, a month before someone's birthday, they send them a card and say, hey, we understand it's your birthday. We'd love for you to come in. If you come in with a couple of friends, your meal's for free. So they do different things. They have kids eat free dessert or free food before 7 p.m. because I know that if they get the parents in there and the children in there, they'll leave and then they can get ready for the second sitting. And this is another one, a travel agent. I had their accountant. The lady's name is Hillary. She's an awesome individual. She's given us a video testimonial on our website. She was there. The accountant comes up to me on morning tea of day one and says, I don't know what Hillary's going to get out of this. I brought her here, but I don't know what she's going to get out of this. And I said, look, if she gets nothing out of it, she doesn't pay because we have a guarantee. So we want to take the risk away from you. We don't want you to spend money on something that you get nothing for. One idea for Hillary dramatically improved her business. She's gone back and her business is now not a travel agency business. It's a dream maker business. They create dreams. They help people get the dreams they want. So they've rebranded. She organized the cruise. That was the year that Ian Healy was there as a keynote speaker. They chatted over dinner. All of a sudden, she's got Ian Healy as a speaker on her cruise. She's managed to get all these customers come on and she's generated $500,000 just from one event. Now that is pretty amazing. What we've offered, because we love what Peter does and we love what the ESS, a small business, is all about, and we know that people in SME land or small business people need to come along to this, we're actually opening up our VIP rates again. The normal rate is $2,970. We want you to come along and we're offering you the very important person rate of $2,200 per person. The other thing is, if you decide you want to bring 6 people from your business, I'll give you the 6th one for free because we really want you to come along. We think there's so much value in that. So to summarize, Peter Johnson, who's been to about 3 or 4 of our events, he runs a business called Access Law Group. He says here, we went to last year's camp. We followed it up with a staff retreat. So they thought about it. They took information away. Our profit from the end of the retreat, which was early May, to the end of the year, beat the period leading up to the retreat, July to May. Now, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? And he says, I can't recommend these camps enough to any business. He's registered again. He's coming back again. A legal firm. What return on investment did this legal firm get? This is a legal firm, 2-partner firm. They're working 70 hours a week. They're not generating a lot of profit. They're just doing everything day in and day out. I'm going to let you read that by yourselves. I don't need to repeat that. But the key thing is that we gave these people life back. The minute we've given them their life back, they now understand they've got a business. The minute they understand they've got a business, they've gone and implemented and put certain people in place. Now they turn over, I think at the time they were turning over $500,000 earning not much. Now they're turning over $2.5 million earning quite a bit of money. But take that back. It's not even about the money. It's about the life that we've given these people. That the fact that he can spend time with his daughter at night was pretty cool. This is another business, Churchill Education. They've been to 3 of our events, and this is what they said. We knew that these 3 days were likely to be one of the best investments we had ever made. We have moved into the advocate quadrant. They actually tell people that they need to be coming to our event. We made a fresh commitment to serve our customers. We're implementing a plan to better communicate with our clients. Their business has gone from strength to strength. This is what they sent me. During the 3 days, I talk about Stu Leonard's Dairy in America, and I talk about the opportunities and what they've done in their business. This was a business that started in 1969 and now has got a number of shops, 4 shops in actual fact. They turn over hundreds of millions of dollars. And I talk about Stu Leonard's Dairy, and they actually went to America and went there, and this is what they sent me. So the fact that they thought about this and sent it to me means I've hopefully changed their life. Thanks for introducing us to new experiences. At Stu Leonard's Dairy, they have a massive rock out the front of the business and of every one of their locations. And this was implemented once the penny dropped for the owner, Stu Leonard Senior. And it's a massive rock, and they've got these rules, so the team knows that this is how they operate. They've now worked out a way where they've created little models of these, and they sell these little things, and they sell thousands of them. And the guys from Churchill Education decided that they would love to send me one, so I thought that was pretty neat. How to find out more and to register for the next event? All you need to do is, I know that Peter's recording this, and you'll have the ability to actually get copies of this. You just click here and it will take you to the ESS Small Business website. From there, you'll see more information and you'll find out how you can register and how you can take up the VIP rate. I truly urge you to consider coming along, because it will be one of the best investments you could ever make in your business. And if you come along and you get nothing out of it, you don't pay. I don't know what else I can say. I hope to see you all there from the 14th to the 16th of March, and we'll have a great time and we'll have a lot of learning. Thank you.
Well, you should be ready to place your registration now after listening to John. So the VIP rate, just to repeat, $2,200 per person. And to register, all you need to go to is ESS Small Business website. So I'm just going to show you that so that you don't get lost. So I've just clicked onto the ESS Small Business website. You need to just go down the left-hand side here and click on Business Partners. And within Business Partners, you can see ESS Small Business has a number of business partners. And here's the Global Business Camps. We'll click on here. And this has taken us to the landing page, which summarizes the Global Business Camps offer, the experience, summarizes their mission and vision as outlined very nicely today by John. And if you want more information, you can just click here. And if you're ready to register to take advantage of the VIP rate, click where the mouse now is, and send that form through to us at peter@essbiztools.com.au. So it couldn't be simpler for you to register. There's some of the testimonials there. If you happen to need any further information, please contact us. And there's a bit of a summary there on John Sulis, a Adelaide accountant who obviously is the very enthusiastic managing director of Global Business Camps. So we just go through the registration process. I've just shown you those. Remember that ESS Small Business website has got free articles on a wide range of business matters. There's over 30 different types of articles. There are also paid articles that you can acquire. And there's promotions for services being offered by various experts, including Global Business Camps, of course, that are available on the site, all committed to assisting small, medium enterprises. And if after going through all this experience, you say to yourself, well, geez, I'm not getting much of this advice from my accountant, and you'd like to have a discussion with someone else in your locality who you think might be able to give you some insights as to the services that an accountant can offer to small businesses, we've introduced a Find an Accountant directory. All you need to do is enter your postcode. You don't have to enter your name. All you have to do is to enter your postcode, and the system will identify accountants who are committed to offering business advisory services, and you can then telephone them and have a discussion with them and make up your mind whether you want to take it any further in looking at an alternative service provider who will be on the same bus as you in undertaking the development of a wider range of products for your business to make your business more successful. So if we don't talk to you again before Christmas, happy Christmas from all the team at ESS Small Business. Thank you very much, John, for your contributions today. And I look forward.
No worries, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you on the Gold Coast in March. And ladies and gentlemen who are listening to this broadcast, we really look forward to seeing as many of you as possible on the Gold Coast, 14th to 16th of March at Global Business Camps. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.